Good morning, everyone. It's Christine Bertram coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, along with Hunky Noodle, who literally just had water, and I stopped it, and then he wanted more. So, Hunky, I did carry, so the garage is still off limits for the kittens because we are staining shelves. I should say Tyler is, and he's clear coating them, and the garage door is open just enough that they could slip under there. So I did carry Hunky over. He was waiting by the door, and I thought, I'm going to take a risk that they don't have to go to the bathroom for 2 hours, because when the doors are shut, there's no litter box in here, right? The litter box is in the house, in the basement. And so you can see Honey. I carried her in here too, but I don't know if we're going to have a problem with that or not. So hopefully they jump up on their chairs. They all have their favorite chairs, and they jump up on them and they sleep. Oh, there she goes. Oh, so there is her basket. She absolutely loves the basket. We're watching you, Honey. So Georgine Darbro brought a basket, I don't know, maybe last fall, and they absolutely love that, and they will be, they're all very possessive, not possessive, but like it's theirs. And so if Honey's in it, she hunkers down, and she doesn't let the boys come in. Tigger will come and like bop on her head to like get her out. It's adorable. and then all of a sudden commence cat fight. So they fight over it. See, he's back. He wants more water, but you guys, I gave him water. That's twice now I ran the water for him. So we have a makeup session. If you watched the Sweet Bundle class last night, it was a organized chaotic gong show here yesterday. It seems like it's all good. We're making up things, and we're getting through them. It was just a hefty day of activities here. Probably one of the most hefty days I think we've had in a while. It was more hectic than the last time that we had a hectic day. I know that. So, I don't think I should schedule 3 classes for Kelly in one day, and especially with one of them involving an in-person class. So Kelly had 3 classes scheduled. I had 2 schedules. So we had 5 classes scheduled yesterday, and that was just a little bit of an aggressive goal, especially with starting a little bit later than what we had originally planned. So we're here though. So this class got bumped. Unfortunately, I just knew that I couldn't start doing this class at 1:45 and expect to be done by 3 when I needed to be done for my appointment. So here we are. We're doing ink, paper, scissors. I kind of reshuffled my schedule from this morning. I moved that stuff to yesterday afternoon, and then classes this morning. And now we get morning cheers. We get the coffee cheers. I've only had you can see the top of that. I've only had like 4 sips. So still waking up, and we get to cut paper right away at 10 a.m. Yay. Oh man. Who doesn't love cutting paper at 10 a.m.? Oh man. Making sure the brain is functioning properly and running. I know I'm not all at all. See, I can't even talk straight, but we'll get there, you guys. I got to get warmed up too. I'm not a morning owl. I'm not a morning bird. I'm a night owl. And I always, like last night was par for the course. I don't try to do this, but all of a sudden it was about 3 a.m. and it was bedtime. But I am happy to report that what I worked on last night was a bunch of things. One of them was creating all the YouTubes for all of the June classes. So that's done. So if you guys go out to the calendar now it's not a calendar, but if you go to YouTube land and if you look at my channel and you go to the lives, everything is out here for a long time. All of this stuff that I have upcoming is everything that I put on the calendar for next month, except for Gina. Gina does hers, but all of this is upcoming up until like right about there. So the June class showcase is next on the docket this afternoon. So I got that all published in terms of, I didn't have the opportunity to send the email, but I created the Facebook post event, and then I put it on my website. So that's out there, and I created it on YouTube. So hopefully everybody sees it. It's at 2:00 today. And then the other thing, all the events got, oops, wrong thing. You guys are looking at me, not down here. I was looking to see the sunglasses are very shiny. So the events on my calendar, in case you guys want to see what's going on, you could be perusing this while I'm doing class today already. I went through and I created all the events for June out here. So a lot of these weren't here, and now they are. So we're doing ink, paper, scissors today. Now you can go out to the next ink, paper, scissors. All the cover photos are in here. All of it's created. All the links should be working to get to the classes. So those things take time. I think overall a couple hours it usually takes to do the YouTubes, and I didn't start on them until probably 11 o'clock. So I was happy to accomplish those things. And then this morning I thought I had sent ink, paper, scissors before I went to bed, and I didn't. I woke up thinking, you never hit send on that email. And because I'll be like a squirrel, like a lot of people can probably get like a squirrel. I started working on one thing, and then I do another thing, and then I do another thing, and then all of a sudden when you're done, 6 things are done almost all at the same time. I don't know why I operate that way, but the last thing I didn't do was hit the send button on the ink, paper, scissors for today. So I don't know, about maybe 9:30 or 9:15 my time, I ran upstairs really quick and hit the send button. And so you guys should have the tutorial for this class in your inbox. I also updated the resources tab here. I haven't updated the past classes yet, but I need to do that. That's my goal for after I'm done with this class, or after I'm done with the showcase. I'll go and update this past classes section. It's pretty up to date. I do know some of these got cleared out, but I'm pretty certain all the past ones are still there, like the past ones, but anything from May needs to get added because I will have some extra classes from May, but I'm pretty certain April's in here. Yeah, there's April classes in here, so I think I just have to update this with what's going to be left over from May. But I did put an announcement up here that the June class showcase is slated for today at 2, and you can watch it by clicking here, right? So that'll pop up later at 2 o'clock. And then I do have the registration form. Now, I'm going to advise that you might wait until we go through the showcase to fill this out, because it's been the last 2 times I've missed something or needed to add something, or maybe you want to wait till you know exactly what's here that's going on. So I do usually have one person that reaches out to me and says, hey, do you know that you have this saying this? And I'm like, I sure do. That's how it goes. Like, I need a second one of me to proofread my stuff. So, but I have you guys, and you always tell me when I have something incorrect. So it's just, I took training with Rhonda Wade for probably 3 solid years back in 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, something like that. I don't know, that time span. And this is hard for somebody who is a type A, trying to not trying to try not to be a perfectionist, but can't help it. Like, that's just, I like things done exactly right. Don't ask me where I got that from. It's probably my dad. I probably get that from my dad. But I have a hard time just being done, and like I'll wait till it's done, and I'll keep working on it until it's just perfect. But Rhonda has trained that done is better than perfect, and I've had to come to accept that with all of the things that are moving a mile a minute around here, that it's hard for me to accept that, but I have to also go with that. So sometimes I will push send on an email. Sometimes I will have a date wrong, like the team meeting is not July 18th, it's July 19th, because I copied the one from last year, and last year was on July 18th, and Gloria reached out to me. She's like, isn't the meeting on the 19th? I'm like, you're correct. Let's get that updated. So it gives me the opportunity to fix things and show you guys I am human. I am not perfect by any means, and my mom said if I would have had kids, all of the perfection thing would have gone by the wayside, because my mom, she said she used to be like that, but when she had 4 kids, she, like, the standards, everything, the expectations, everything gets lowered, I guess, on other things in life. So yes, the form is here. Just note for the mailing address, you're welcome to put same if you want, or type it out for me. I need to know if you're new to me. You need to give me your address, because if I don't know where you live, I don't know where to ship your kits to. So, but anyways, we'll go through that this afternoon. But I'm just excited. All the pictures are in here, and I know these 2 look very similar. It just so happens we use 2 flower sets, and we use the Bloom Boutique paper on both of them. But they are different classes, and they're different cards. So, lots of pretty flowery cards in those 2 classes. And then I got the May monthly. The only thing I'm missing is Rose's technique class. But if I look here, Rose sometimes pops a message to me. Nope, I don't have it quite yet. So, but yeah, we'll be going through this afternoon. Kelly, I have the Honey Pots and Happy Thoughts Pooh class in here that we got going on. And then I also added in the Sparkling Celebrations Paper Pumpkin Alternative that we're doing. So, yay. Okay, so that is out there. So for anybody who likes to look ahead and peruse things, here you go, Hunky. There you go, buddy. He's coming this way. Ooh, ooh, ooh. S and the P want to get with me? All right, buddy. Here's a hunky noodle boy taking up the whole camera. He's like, Mom, the windows aren't open in here. I can't get fresh air. You know what, buddy? It's cold outside. So we're kicking butt, we're taking names, we're making it happen, just not always in the exact order that we had anticipated or planned. And that's just, we have to roll with the punches, you guys. So who do I have here with me now that Hunky Noodles consumed my phone? Let's see here. I don't normally have a morning live, so I probably don't have the biggest of crew here, but Nancy Mole is here, and we'll have to watch the replay. Okay, I hope all your appointments go well. Hello, Sherry Ott, and there's Debbie Gast. And we have Kari Dwyer. Hello, Donna Rose, and Karen Whitstein. Yay. And anybody else who's watching but didn't say hi, just enjoy the show, right? Let's put you there. Yeah, I know. You can go back the way you came. Nothing to see here, officer. And I should probably just do a perusal to see, make sure Honey's not waiting at the door and scratching. I think she found a seat. Oh, she did. Oh, she's on the chair. I see her. You guys might even be able to see her. Vaguely. Oh, I doubt it. She's right up. Oh, there, you can see her. There. That little bit of white right there. Right there. That's Honey. She's sitting on the chair. She's actually watching with her eyes shut. Oh, that's our Honey. Okay, so let's get going. You guys, we got ink, paper, scissors. Ink, paper, scissors is always a little bit more of a challenge because we're cutting designer series paper. And the one thing I want to call out, I put this here for a reason. Oh man, you guys, the struggle bus was real. Like May did not kick our butts. We kicked back and we did good. But we always do something that just doesn't make us more efficient with our time. It makes us less efficient. And that happened with the ink, paper, scissors this time. We were all done. Everything was laid out. Everybody's piles were married. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, we forgot to put the shimmer paper in everybody's kit. And I'm like, and then jaw drops. Everybody looks at me like, oh no, we got to go back and do more work. And it's like, oh, and if I would have just thought of it, like I thought of it the night before. I set the paper on the counter. I was going to take it upstairs to cut it. And then the next morning, like, boom, everything like goes off like right away. And everybody's here, wants to start doing stuff and helping. And I forgot that the paper was sitting on the counter in the mudroom. So everybody goes full speed ahead, getting things taken care of. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, shoot. Now we get to cut the paper and we get to add it to everybody's bag. And we were all said and done. And there's one left. So in your kit, everybody, what you want to do is open up your kit. You want 4 envelopes. You want your designer series paper. On the back end, you'll have your ribbon and your gems. And you're going to have the 3 sheets of the shimmer vellum. That was part of the goodie bag for, instead of, we just added it because this vellum was part of the suite. So I have to believe I'm 100% correct saying that one person is supposed to get this because I had 68 of them and there was 68 of these and there's one left. So whoever you are, if you are missing it, I deeply, from the bottom of my heart, apologize that this didn't get put in your pack. And I also put that in the email I just sent. If you guys don't know, when I send a class email out, if there's something important that I don't want you to miss, did I not send it? Wait. I could have sworn I just sent, is it in my drafts yet? Holy Moses, would I have not sent that twice? I didn't send it twice. Ha! This guy right here. Nope, that's not it. I could have sworn that I sent maybe I need to refresh my phone. Hang on. I was going to show you guys the email that I sent out. Not that one. There it is, a draft. No, it isn't a draft. It would be in my sent. I wanted to show you guys the email that I just sent. There it is. Ah, here it is. Perfect. It was right there in front of my face. So I usually send the thank you email out. So a lot of people get confused when I send the thank you for watching this YouTube video or this class with me, that includes the PDF tutorial. That never includes the PDF tutorial because that goes out to absolutely everybody. When you get the email from me as Christine Bertram with me wearing the yellow shirt like that, and it says, hi, Scenic Coast IPS card class attendees, the recipes and supplies are needed. That's the email where I include, wait, I don't know, at the bottom here is the PDF, right? So not to have you guys looking in that other email for it. But when I call out something that I need for you to really pay attention to versus something that's the template, I highlight it in yellow. And I put here one person may be missing the shimmer vellum in their bag. We all almost missed adding it. And after we went back through all of to add the 3 sheets. There was 1 set here yet. So calling that out, yellow, right? Otherwise, generally everything is the same blanket clause, just updating it to be the right name of the class, the date and the time and the YouTube video link. But a lot of people get confused because I send an email like this with, oh, it also has me wearing a yellow shirt, but it says Cards by Christine. And this one says, a great big thank you to everyone for watching who registered. I appreciate it. You can watch it here. This one never has the PDF tutorial in it because this goes out to the masses, where the class email only goes out to those people who are registered for class. Just hoping to avoid a little bit of confusion. Every time it happens, that every class somebody seems to say, hey, where's the PDF? It's not attached here. And I'm like, it's not on that one. It's never on that one. So just a little bit of like, I know it takes a little bit to remember things. So I'm the same way. So we have ink, paper, scissors for May. It's called Scenic Coast. And we have 68 people signed up from me. I know Kelly has planned for 12, and I think she only has 6 signed up. So I ran out of my kits, but they're the same kits. We kit up everything all together. It's just that Kelly will get compensated for anybody else who wants to register for this class because I personally have my 68 accounted for, and now there's about 6 left. I have such a cat fur on my nose. Sorry, guys. I hate to itch my nose all the time, but sometimes the cat fur flies in. There's probably 6 left, if I had to guess, for this class. So if you're watching this today and you're interested in it, I can't make any promises at this point in my life. If it's one thing and you want it to go right now, we're going to do some more shipping right after I'm done with this class before the showcase. We have about 8 boxes that we're going to try to get out yet. If you tell me right off the bat, yeah, I want this class, I could probably get it today if I can include it in that shipping, which is very short notice for you guys if you do want the class. If you do want it and it's later, like next week or this coming weekend, I won't be able to ship it. I can't make promises because I leave on Tuesday and it's going to be a crunch of time between now and Tuesday with all the things that need to happen, including laundry packing and all of the things that we need to do before we leave. So I would most likely plan to ship your package in the June shipment, which is leaving around the 11th or the 12th of June. So you would just have to hang tight. I don't have anybody that really wants to ship any packages for me while I'm away. Nobody wants to go into my pirate ship and use my computer to do things. So we're at the mercy of me going on vacation and you being patient and waiting. That's what's happening. So first on our list, we have Karen Wetstein, and then Julie Bierschbach, Annette Rollin, Jeannie Parker, Sherry Ott, Cindy Nicolosi, Angelique Schaefer, Angie Cruz, Barbara Gabi, Barbara Rudolph, Bridget Rowe, Carmen Melendez, Kathy Crumpton, Cheryl Bowe, Christina Bernards, Cindy Hutchins, Deb Norman, Debbie Stone, Donna Grushke, Doris Munson, Elaine Peranio, Faye Gabi, Frances Rodriguez, Janine Follant, Jean Shute, Jeannie Gertis, Jean Terwilliger, Judy Dean, Julie Bontringer, Karen Stagg, Karen Woods, Kari Dwyer, Kathy Showalter, Kelly Gibson, Kimberly Snow, Laura Sullivan, Laura Lee Cosgrove, Leslie McMinn, Linda Hunt, Lisa LaFramboise, Lisa Mullis, Lori Baxter, Mary Hodges, Mary Jo Stoll, Mary Lemke, Pat Shee Bischoff, Pat Smothers, Feline Mays, Ruth Nicholson, Sheila Roberts, Sherry Everett, Stacy Tan. Oh, take a deep breath here. That's quite the list. Sue Deppis, Susan Bellamy, Susan Devine, Susie Fenlater, Trisha Fagley, Sandy Coy Emery, Rosie Prouty, Marisha Roberts, Julie Block, Vicki Rodriguez, Margene Eskelson, Lynn Beasley, Sarah Merchant, and Perry Overby. So thank you to everybody who registered and paid for this class. This is not a class that you could get free with an order. Ink, Paper, Scissors series is always a fee-based class because it includes a roll of ribbon and designer series paper and embellishments. And in this case, the shimmer vellum that goes with the suite. So take a drink of water. I haven't hydrated myself yet today. So this suite is in the annual, you guys, I will refer to this May one as the annual catalog probably for a long, long time. Can't say for the rest of my life, but for a long time. I haven't figured out an acronym for it because I want to call it MA, Stampin' Up, like M-A for the MA catalog, but that sounds kind of dumb. So it's like the annual catalog yet, but it's not an annual catalog. So Oh, the struggle is real with these catalogs, but it is a great catalog. It is back in line with how we like our catalogs to be. I appreciate Stampin' Up! Listening to the voice of the customer and putting it back in a format that we like. So we have Scenic Coast right here is on page 26 to 27. And when you flip it over, you won't get more. You get a 2-page spread. So in this one, you can see the shimmer vellum is there, the designer paper, and then this came with gems. And so let's look at this. Again, you guys tell me, please tell me whose this is. I need to know. I want to know who didn't get it. So the designer paper, let's look at this. So the DSP samplers are a great little reference tool. Make sure you get yours. They are $30 plus shipping. If you have something else shipping with it, it's always less for shipping. This is a tool that has all the white pages printed, and then we cut the cardstock and the designer paper. Oh, look at me. I glued that really downhill. I can see that right now. I didn't notice it before when I was putting it together, but now I can see that I went downhill. I was consistent with being straight, just straight at an angle. Is that such a thing? A lot of pretty paper here. Let's look at the sheets as a whole. So this one comes with 6x6 paper versus 12x12, and it's really hard to get the idea of what is really going on because this is this guy right here. That the bottom is this blue and the top is the sunrise. Let's say sunrise. And this one is, you can tell by the back, is this one, but the top is orange. So I just, in my sampler, happened to get a lot of bottom water pieces. And this guy is that one. And then we've got this one, would be this one. Gina just did a Stamp-a-Stack with this class on my YouTube channel on Wednesday. And she made some really pretty cards. And then this guy right here. So that's what the sampler is, you guys. I sell these. I have about 12 left of them, which is great. That we planned for 72 and to only have 12 left is pretty good. So I have that. I'll share that with you again later during the showcase. But we need to cut our paper. So with an ink, paper, scissors, you guys are going to be responsible for cutting your designer paper. And we, just because I know my mom is going to be here at noon, and she's always early. She asked me what time to plan for. I said like 12:15. She's like, okay, I'll be there at noon. And so she's helping me do the rest of my boxes that I have here that I know what needs to go for the ones that are ready. So I will wait and not do these envelope flaps. If I have time, I'll go back and do the envelope flaps. But I love to put the designer paper on these cards because you have the designer paper. Now, some people think of this as wasting paper. I don't think of it as wasting paper. By using this 2 1/4 inch strip by 6 on an envelope, the satisfaction and joy that you know that the person who gets this will get when they receive a matching envelope and card, that makes it worth it, and that makes it not wasting DSP to me. So just, it's always everybody's personal preference with the designer series paper on the envelopes. These are the cards we're going to make. And with this, they changed up this paper that you get when they had a 6x6 pack. You used to only get 4 of each pattern, and now this is kind of in line with a normal pack of 12x12 because everybody gets 2 of the same pattern versus 12 unique sheets. So I liked that when they changed that for this one. So this guy right here goes with this card, and you're really only going to need 1 sheet. So it's set up that we designed 5 cards using the 6 different patterns, and so you shouldn't need 1 of the sheets. You guys have them left over to make something pretty later on in life. Hunky buddy, what's up? You want to come up here? Yeah, you're making cookie dough down there. I see it. All right, this guy. Oh, let's see here. That's this one in here, I think. Yep. So that goes with this. And then the other one we used was the Purplelicious one here. And then this guy goes, we have our, you guys, we cased our class from last year, the Everyday Arches class. We just had to do another card like this. I absolutely loved this card when we did it last year. So we did one of these again. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. All right, you even get me singing. Here we go. So that one goes with this guy and this one. So the cuts aren't so crazy hard. So you should be left here with 6 pieces. 6. Perfect. So we'll set those off to the side for now because we don't need them. You might need them if you're going to do your envelope. Right, in your goodie bag, you guys are going to have 5 cards. So this ink, paper, scissors was a little pumped up because normally it's a 4-card class. But I wanted more. I wanted to use each of the sheets at least once. So that's why we opted for 5 cards. And then you'll have your shimmer paper. The shimmer goes with this. So this one uses the pink and the tan one. And then the sunrise, sunset card uses the blue one. So let's just set that with those cards. And I should have brought down my open roll of strawberry, but I didn't. So, and I haven't, maybe I need to open these. So I'm just trying to think if I have an open pack upstairs or not. You'll get the strawberry slush ribbon that matched all these cards really nicely. And then the sunset shimmer, I think they're sunset sparkle gems. Those are what go with this one. And I'm pretty certain that my pack upstairs is almost empty. So we will open these and we will use them for our cards. And then we will open this, even though I have one open, we'll use it. So, I don't know. There's quite an easy way to, there we go, I got it. Perfect. The bundle is called Sunset Coast, and we used these 3 dies, the big circles, and we used these shells here and the birds. I am not the biggest fan of whatever that thing right there. They tried to make that look like a bird. I looked at them like, that looks horrible. So we went with the 2. You guys, we intentionally did not give you that one. Okay, it was a pain in the butt with the die cutting. So yeah, but we were going to use the fence and we opted not to. We thought the card looked great without the fence, and we did not do the Cabo Wabo die because we didn't know if people would actually have the set. So we tried to design the cards in a way that you guys could easily reproduce these cards without having to have the stamps. But what we're going to do, like we normally do, we're going to cut all the designer series paper first. And then what we'll do is we'll get Stamp Happy. Honky Noodle, you are going to town down there, buddy. Yeah, Mom, I'm so excited. You got a soft, squishy blanket for me. Yeah, you're happy I brought you over here, aren't you? All right, so this one, we have 3 pieces to cut on this one. And the first cut is the deepest. No, just kidding. The first one is 5 1/4 by 4. So I do have a little trick here. I made little notes. It says DSP, 1/2 inch off the top, and then make it 4 inches tall. So let's see what that means. When we look at this paper, we took a section out of the middle because we wanted that line to be just south of the equator, right? So we took a 1/2 inch off the top. So let's put this in our trimmer and cut a 1/2 inch off the top. Now our height needs to be 4 inches. You guys save that for later or throw it away. Recycle it, like file it where it needs to go filing. Get filed. So now it says, now you want your top to be 4 inches. Well, this is our top, so we don't want to lose that. So we're going to rotate it this way, and we want our top to be, well, we want it to be 4 inches tall, right? So now we're going to put our cursor to put our line up at 4, and it's okay, guys. We're going to cut the bottom off, and it's all right. It's sad that this is going, but we got out of here what we wanted, which was I wanted this section. We can't have a 6 by 6 card and show it all off. So this goes to the scrapyard. Now we have a 3/8 inch off the right. So what's the right? This is the right as we're looking at it. So 3/8 or 3/8, whatever how you want to say it. 3/8 off the right. Okay. Now we need it to be 5 1/4 wide. So what are we going to do? We can either take 3/4 off the left, or when we flip it around, we could, which is 5 1/4. So if we take 3/8 off the left, this side, we are at 5 1/4. So if you just put it to 5 1/4, that's the same thing as putting it to 3 1/8. Ultimately, the final size of this is 5 1/4 by 4. All right, so that's good. Got that like that. Okay. Now on the inside, this is an easel card. So we've got a fun fold here for you, and it's so cool. It looks like the beach scene at the bottom here. So the shimmer pink on the top here is 1 15/16 by 1 15/16. So that's 2 inches less a tick mark, right? So a tick mark is a 16th, if anybody doesn't know that. All right, so we have go to the 2 and bring it back 1. And we taught people this over the weekend. People didn't get that the top here is metric and then the bottom here is our standard. So 5, it's 15/16. So you go to the 2 and bring it back 1. And when you're doing this, you don't want your paper all crooked in here. You want to make sure that it's in here nice and straight. Follow your eye down the line here and make sure that this is equal all the way down. If you find that it's like this, you're not straight. So use your eyeballs and double check it to make sure it's straight. This is going to cut a little bit harder because it's thicker vellum, so it wants to catch different. All right, so that piece goes to the scrapyard, and now it's 2 less a tick mark, or 1 15/16. Right, so that goes to the scrapyard. And then this little piece right here goes on the front. Now our sand, this is more of a beige sand. The size of this one is not even listed on here. I don't see it. But it is easy. It's 5 1/16 by something. Let's look to see what it is. I wonder what we put in the tutorial. I wonder if Jolene guessed. 1.5, because I don't see it on here. 1.5 by 5 1/16. So I'm going to do the 1.5 inch first. Put that to the scrapyard. And then 5 1/16. So that is, you could cut something out of that, you guys. That when it's shimmer paper, it's not too small to save it. So we have shimmer tan, 5 1/16 by 1.5. Okay. So that guy is good to go. We've got our sand for the bottom, and we'll just make a pile. This guy is super easy, except for where do you cut your paper, right? The size is easy. I mean, 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. So I've got a little note here on the side as well. So we've got 5 and, so we're going to do a 1/2 inch off the top, and then another, then we go to the height that we need. So if you do a 1/2 inch off the top, that takes off a little bit here. And now our height needs to be 3 13/16. So we're going to rotate it this way. And 3 13/16, I learned to talk to people. I learned the language of the people this weekend. 3 13/16 is 4 less 3 tick marks. Okay, so you go to the 4 and bring it back 3 tick marks. Okay, that is 3 13/16. That's a scrap. Now it says to take a 1/2 inch off the right side. So let's flip it over here and do a 1/2. People understand 1 and 1/2 and 1/4 really well. That is not the problem. The problem is when I start doing 1/8 and 1/16 with you guys. So now we've taken this off the side. Now we need to make this side a little shorter. So we're going to rotate it. The width that we need is 5 1/16, which is 5 plus a tick mark. So 5 and then plus 1 tick mark. That would give us 5 1/16. That's what we need for this one. And that's it. That guy just has one piece of designer paper on the outside. All right, we'll save this guy for last because this is the first card we're going to put together. So we'll put him at the bottom of the pile. This one's relatively easy too. Hi, buddy. This one is 5 and... Well, I just know it's cut 2 1/8 from the left. And then cut 1 inch off the bottom. Let's see if that works. So if we cut 2 1/8 inch off the left, from the left, that puts us here. Yep, that's right. Okay, so that's right. So cut 2 1/8 off the left. So we don't want to cut this side. We want to cut the left side. So when we cut the left side, I'm going to flip it upside down. Well, no, wait. I got to do it back this way because I'm cutting 2 1/8 off the left. So sorry about that. Reverse, reverse. We didn't reverse, put that upside down. We're going to keep it the same way, just like this. And we're taking 2 1/8 off the left. So put it at 2 plus 2 tick marks is 2 1/8. Right? Because we want our sun to be to the left in our arch. So we're cutting 2 1/8 off. Right? Now it says cut 1 inch off the bottom. Hi, buddy. So 1 inch off the bottom, you have an option here. You're going to put this at 1, which also means you're at 5 here. Hi. What's up, Squeaker? All right. So that gives us the piece here. That's the scrapyard. That now gives us what we need for in the window to the wall. That fits there perfectly. All right. Ooh, those things for the bottoms. We'll come back to that. Hi, buddy. What's up? Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what you want. You want a blankie or you want me? I don't know. This is, so we take a 1/2 inch off the right and, well, where's the card right here? Haha. So this one's another one where we want our sun to be in a specific spot on this card. So our notes say take a 1/2 inch off the right, then make it 4 inches. So if we take a 1/2 inch off the right, so with our paper looking at it the right way, we're going to take a 1/2 inch off the right, and then we need this to be 4 inches. So if I put this right here, I can see that that is exactly right. My sun is lined up right. So I need this now to be 4 inches wide, but I've already cut off the right, so I need to cut off this other side, which is the left. So I'm going to put this in at 4 inches. Okay, so that's coming off. Now we've got the width. Now we need the height. So the height is what I'm not certain of. Right there. So I'm trying to look at my note here. 1/2 inch off the right, then 5 1/4 by 4, so 5 1/4. So I'm looking at this. That wasn't the best of notes we wrote there. Usually we do much better at writing our notes. So this is 3/4 of an inch that we cut off the top. All right, so let me write that on here. 3/4 off the top. Then it needs to be 5 1/4. So let's do that. We're going to take 3/4 off the top. And now we need it to be, oh, that's perfect. And then 5. That's why it was like that. Because basically, if you take 3/4 off the top, that gives you 5 1/4, which is what you need here. So we just didn't have which side to cut off. So perfect. So that guy's good to go. All right. Now the last guy. We do have a little piece of shimmer vellum on here, which is 2 inches by 2 inches. So we're going to flip this in here. So again, you guys, when I line up my paper, I look top, I look bottom, and I look in the middle. When I go to cut it, I also want to use my fingers to hold that down as tight as I can so that my paper doesn't want to twist on me. So there's that, 2 inches and 2 inches. So we did this as an accent piece over here. So you can really see the shimmer. On the one side, it's very shimmery, right? That's the top. There it is. And then the back is dull. So you easily know what's the front and the back. Then with this, we need to cut our arches. But you may not have these arches dies. So I'm going to tell you and show you how to do that. You can't use a trimmer for that. Now, if you have the dies, the Everyday Arches dies, you could definitely go through and cut the die using the die. Now, again, I don't expect you guys to always buy everything that I use for a class. I always love for you to buy what you love and use what you have, right? So for this, how we're going to, oh, it's the top card even, look at that. So your golden ticket has the date of the 21st, which was yesterday. Unfortunately, with class getting moved to today, this is not correct. So if you guys aren't planning to make these cards right now, you may just take your golden ticket, and if you have a purple pen, you can use purple. Purple is amazing, but if you don't have purple, use whatever color you want. Make that say 22, just so you know that we did do the YouTube Live. Like you could right here, the YouTube Live was on the 22nd, right? You'll find it in there around this date, so you should be good to go. Hi, Donna Rose. Just happened to see a notification about a live. I'll listen as you do chores. Perfect, Kari. Awesome. So the top card here is the one that we're going to work on first. I promised Jolene we would do that one first yesterday, and then I didn't even need to do it first yesterday. Hi, buddy. What's up? What's up? What's up? Go take a nap, buddy. But, Mom, I'm not tired. You can't make me. All right. So it doesn't feel like there's a lot in this envelope, and I agree with you. There's not a lot. So when you open this up, you're going to have 1, 2, and then you're going to have a piece of copy paper, a piece of copy paper, so 2 pieces of copy paper, a little strip here for here, and you get these circles. Okay, so I just realized there was one more piece of Designer Series paper that I didn't cut while we were live here. We'll do that. There's my punch sometimes leaves little knickers like that. Just little baby ones. And we try to catch them, and we do try to cut them off if we see them, but sometimes they're just, your guys, my mom will say, my eyes aren't that good anymore. So my mom and Diane will say the same thing. I can't see that. I see that, but they don't see that. So when they're laying them out, they don't always catch that. But in the inside here, there is another piece of designer paper that we used, and it is this strawberry one. What's up, buddy? You're looking at me with those eyes so longingly. There's a piece in here that is this one, right? So let's look at our scrap pile and see if we have this piece in the scrap pile. We won't, because that's what we're using. And so I will wait to cut this until I'm done with, I don't know if this, so what's happening is we need for this piece a 1 1/8. This is 1 1/8. So when we cut this, hopefully we'll have a little bit of pink left over. Okay, but how do you cut this? So we'll worry about this piece later, is what I just realized in my head. So you have 4 of these guys right here. So these two, you can feel the rough side is the back, and then the rolled side is the good side. That's what you want people to see. So when you look at the card, this is designer paper, and on the back side, you'll see all 3 of these back pieces. So you really want all of your rough sides to come up, and then the rolled edges will be back. And then this middle one is where this guy will go. He's for the middle, for you to stamp your sentiments. And then we're going to be cutting designer series paper to go over the top. So how are we going to do this? If you don't have dies, you're going to line this up right about here. So I've got my sunset is right about there. When I hold this, it's right there, which is pretty much where I want it. Okay, so I'm going to hold this, and this is the way I would do it. I'm not going to glue anything, and you really do have to hold it. Now, if you have the dies, a lot of people probably have the dies. I will bet you any money. You take your die and line it up to the ones that we have die cut, and that's the die you want to use. If you don't have the die, you're going to very carefully and hold this together the entire time. You've got some straight lines here. The curve is a little bit harder to do. This is the makeshift process for somebody who doesn't have the dies, right? And I want to show you exactly how to do this, because if you don't have the dies, you can still do these pretty cards with my kits like this, right? You have to have the arches cut already, but just try not to cut the white arch. Like, that's going to be something that you want to avoid. I'm using it as a guide. And then we're going to go just like this, straight across. Okay, so got that cut. Now what happens is this comes to the front. Right? Now, I see that I had mine over a little bit more, but that's okay. Everyone is going to be slightly different. It's okay. So that goes over there, and then we have to do it one more time, right? So now this will go on this one, and we'll have to do this guy. And I have that one off as well. So when we look at this, I'm going to put this, it's not quite, when I look at it, it's not so that it's right here, where that one's in a little further. It's more like this. Now, if you want the easy button and you don't want to cut this section right here, you could line it up right here and only do that section right there, and you could probably be okay. I think we've got the height going on, right? So we went with that height. If you want to avoid having to cut this area here, what you could do is just have your sun will be over to the left. Now, I don't mind cutting it a little bit. And this is the strawberry pink side. We just need to have 1 1/8 inch on this side to be able to get this little piece right there. So we're good to go there as well. So let's grab the scissors and get cut happy. The main thing is that your paper can't move. So you do have to have a firm grip on it so that your two papers don't twist and become disconnected or off. like that. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got the last of the, nope, we have one more thing to cut. I was going to say we've got the last of the designer paper to cut, but no, we got one more thing. This one is 1 1/8 by 2 scoops. Okay, so 1 1/8 by 2, and it's just a little accent. I don't think we have 2 inches there. Oh, look at that. It's just a hair less 2 inches. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for it. So I'll go there. So that's 1 1/8, and it was 2 inches. That's good enough for me. Look at me being okay with something. And it's just a hair under 2, but that's all right. It doesn't make a difference on this. All right. Very good. Very good. Let's move that stuff here. So we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. One of the things that's really important when we're putting this together is this copy paper is integral. It is the mechanism that holds it together. And you don't want everything so tight that it can't bend. So what I would do is you got this piece, can go here, this one there, and this one here. We'll worry about those later. This is the back side. And what we're trying to do is create the connection for our arches. So there, it's hard to see it, but it is there. There's a piece of copy paper right there. All right. And you have to leave a little gap in between for them to be able to fold. If you don't have that gap, you're not going to be able to fold these very nicely. There's going to be no wiggle room. So when we put these down, I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm going to put it right here. We're just going to attach this one, and you really, it doesn't even matter if you're straight or not. You don't see the copy paper, but we're going to put a little glue right there. And when I put this up to it, I just want to make sure I'm flush on the bottom, like lined up. And I'm going to leave not even a 16th. I don't know. If you're Susan Wormley, she'd probably say a 32nd of an inch. Huh. If we even know how big that is. But there's the slightest little gap. There's the slightest little gap going all the way down. And what happens is you want to be able to fold this, right? And that's right there. So then when this folds back, right now you have a little more room, but as soon as you put 2 more pieces of paper here, like let's put this one here, and let's put this one here, and let's try to fold it one more time and see if that folds. Okay. So that still stays in there, right? So if that was too close, these pieces would want to buckle out and bunch out. So that seemed like it worked good. Okay, now we need to repeat that though on this side. So let's grab the copy paper and put that one there. And then this is going to go here. And we'll set this one on top here just for good measure. Okay, let's just put this first. And I'm leaving about an 1/8. Oh, you guys can't see that hand. There's a little baby gap. Just a wee widow one. Like that. Okay, and then we'll set this on here. And we'll set this one on here. And we're going to try to fold it. Well, hang on. Well, let's fold it first properly. Right in half. Like that. And then let's make sure this and this can fit in there. That 1/16 of an inch margin that's in the middle, that's going to be pivotal. Okay, it seems like it'll fit good. So now that we've got that done, we could glue these 2 on, right? So let's do that. Around the horn with treble horn. All right, we'll do this one. All right, so then this guy can go right there. And then this one can go here. And then we'll get to do some stamping. So it's not overly complicated. And especially if you have the dies, you don't have to question about any of the cutting. You can just die cut it. All right, so then now this goes this way and that goes that way. Okay, perfecto changeo. Okay, we're not done. We have to do a little stamping, and the color is the blueberries of the bushel. So there, and then we do need a gray bird. You Brighten My Day is from the set, and wherever this finds you, I hope it finds you happy. That's all in this set. And okay, on the bird, if you guys watched last night, you would see that I did the Waterside Retreat class, and there was a bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word in the Waterside. I think it's called Relaxing Water Slide, and that's where this bird comes from. So let's see here. You Brighten My Day. This is a little 1.5 inch circle punch. Goes right in there. Okay, and then we have the little strip here. We've got, I hope it finds you happy. And then the bigger saying is what goes on the middle section, right here. And then the bird can get stamped. Flying through the air with the greatest of ease. And we're going to make 2 of them. They fly in pairs, right? Okay. So that's what we've got for stamping. And now we can get gluing. So then these 2 will get glued together in the circle and the arch. So we've got the blueberry bushel mixed with Highland heather for those 2 pieces. Now that guy goes right there. Okay, so it still should shut. Yay! And then I popped this up with dimensionals. And then that goes onto the Highland heather circle. Like that. And then we've got that piece of vellum, the shimmer vellum. I'm just going to use tear and tape, I think, on that. And this will be a harder one, so I'm going to hold it up here. I'm going to try to match my 4 corners while keeping the words straight. But I kind of like them up at an angle. Yeah, I like that one up at an angle, so we're going to do that. And then we'll put a little bit more tear and tape across the back. This goes, so when I did this one, it was off to that side a little bit. And now when I cut this, that's the sad thing, that if you do cut it a little bit closer, you lose a little bit of the sun that's peeking out through the clouds. Like, it's still pretty, but you lose a little bit if it's not over to the left more. So I wanted to keep this to the bottom right, like that. And then for this guy, we're going to take our scissors. So the reason I angled it this way is because of the flow of those words like that. If you angle it this way, there's a lot of white down there. Where if you angle it this way, the angle seems to match better. And then you're going to take your tear and tape. And you can weave the ribbon back and forth. So this is the strawberry. It's on Last Chance now. I don't know if it's, I mean, I think it's still there, but all the in color ribbon like this went on Last Chance. And we thought, oh my gosh, what did I just do there? The strawberry matched all of these cards nicely. So that's why we chose this one to go with this set. So I'm trying to get that to go this way to kind of match the angle. like that. Okay, that looks good. Then grab that tear and tape that's waiting in the wings. And then this is going to pop up. I know it's the inside of the card, but I think it looks nice popped. And then, because I'm not the biggest fan of the orange, I'm going to cover up the orange. But if you're Gina, you'd leave the orange out. We know this. So, oh man. All right. Let's get back in here. Okay. Then we need a little liquid glue back here. And so we made sure that this was to the left so that when this covers up, it covers up the dark sea, which brightens us up down here again. Like that. Okay. And then we did add gems to the inside and the outside. So you've got the pretty, there's this really bright like orange, and then there's a Cajuinish orange. Then these are my cotton candy colors. I've got the pinks and the blues. So I went with the blue ones over here, blue 42s. And then that. And then over here I did a mixture. I grabbed that dark, weird brownie orange. It's not weird. It's just not a normal color I see. And then I added the other orange ones over here. So it might look good there. All right. Now, what could you Stella? All of the designer series paper could get Stella. So you could definitely start with your sun and have it come out from the sun like that. I don't know. Let's give you a good squish. Right? And then here too, you could start with the sun. And draw some lines out. All right. I think that's good to go. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And you can see that the copy paper, even though I left that little bit of an inch there, not the inch, the 16th there, it's white. So it blends in really nicely with the actual card. So that folds like this. Very good. Now, you could, we didn't add strawberry ribbon on the front because it didn't seem to match on the front, but that's why we added it on that one because that matched. Okay. Now, for this one, the envelope flap, I went with, maybe this purple. This one. Nope, it is that one. So when you are looking through your scraps, wherever they went here, none of these pieces, except for this one, are long enough to do an envelope flap. So that's the one I would pick to do the envelope flap for this card, because that seemed to match that nicely. The rest of them, if you're going to do envelope flaps, you are going to have to figure out if you want to cut into this pretty paper, and I'm going to guess most of you don't want to do that. So you might find some other matchy-matchy DSP. Okay, so let's set you there and set you over here and bring out the next one. Looks like this. Okay. On this one, we need the navy. In the navy. So we'll have to clean up this guy because we'll need that instead of balmy. And then we have here, I hope it finds you happy. So we did that same sentiment. And you guys can always, whatever you want for your sentiments. Do whatever you want. Okay, so that's the card. Let's see where that falls in line here. So it's the next one. Very good. Okay. So let's pull this out. And put you down here. So we got Strawberry Slush with Night of Navy, another great combination. And then this designer paper is going to go right there. And then for this guy, you might have to do, oh, my hokey pokey tool is not here. So it's out in the mudroom. I'll just go with the scissors. And we're going to pop out some of these pieces. All right, so there's that. And then this is going to go there. Now, I will have to say that I did see, I don't remember who, but somebody was on the Facebook and they were showing off this die. And they put some crumb cake paper behind here. But I think we could use the sand and put some sand back there. So I don't remember who it was, but they took a piece of crumb cake and they cut crumb cake and put to make it look like beachy area. But you guys have in your kit, and so do I, you've got this iridescent tannish one. And I was wondering for S's and G's what it would be like to put that right there and have that go across the back and add a little bit of a different element. And I think we're going to do that. So let's see what we got. We're going to glue. I want to get glue happy because I can. If you guys know me by now, I love to eliminate pieces. And so anytime I can glue 2 or more pieces at the same time, I like to take that opportunity. So this one gets glued flat onto the front. It's just centered top to bottom, left to right. And then our inside mat is the navy one here. So let's do that. Get those gone. And then for our sentiment, we're going to stamp that. And then we're going to assemble. So we've got these 2 things. I hope it finds you happy. Happy. So happy. And then this guy, I'm going to stamp this more to the right. Like that. And then I angled this with my scissors this way. Okay. Then, what can we put on the bottom? So sad face, I don't have anything down there, but I like to have no naked insides. That is always a thing. So I'm going to go to my scrapyard here, and I'm going to see what was in this pile. Oh, that could look cool on the bottom. That was a leftover scrap from one of them. That's going to be an envelope. This and this don't quite match. This does, but not quite. Oh, the purple matches, but that's going to be my envelope. I have these yet. So it's not, oh, I wonder if we could put that sideways on here. Just a little skinny. Maybe let's try that. So I like to decorate the envelope, or the inside. Choose your words. And I don't know what it's going to look like. And I might have to restamp it. But I was going to cut, and it's not necessarily the same one, but nobody knows that. If I cut like a 5/8 inch piece here, like that, and we'll cut a little off the bottom, and then we'll cut the top at 5 1/16. So we'll cut a little off the top too. So my height is 5 1/16, which is the height of my piece of white. If I do this and put this over here, that looks cool. But now my words aren't centered. So what I'm going to do is flip this over and set that there and restamp. And restamp it so it's centered. Like that. Okay. I think that's it for Inky Dinky Doo. And now we've got our decoration on the inside. And one little guy like that. Here's the card. So then we'll have our inside done. I think that looks nice. I can live with that. That's better than nothing, right? Which is what that has. Okay, so let's go back to this then. We have this piece right like this. I think what I want to do is rough cut what I think I'm going to need. Like that. Okay, so that's still my scrap. And I'm going to put, what am I going to put? Tear and tape, I think. Right along this bottom edge. Now, this is not in the picture of the card. So we can compare. If you don't like the way it looks, you can always not do it. But if you like the way it looks, now we've done it. So the other thing I'm going to do is put one glue dot, I think, right there. That will help hold this. Maybe it goes like that. Nope, it does go like this. Remember, I cut it a specific way so that maybe like that. That's how we cut this. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to try to capture the line. So that's a pretty straight line right there. And then we get to the windows, and I don't necessarily want this in the windows, and I don't want it over here. So I'm going to take my scissors now, and from the back side here, I know it's there. I'm just going to cut off so that we can't see that. So cool. Okay, now if you had yellow, you could add yellow. Let's find our yellow. I guess if you had little yellow piece, so this piece right here has yellow, right? You could add little bits of yellow behind your lighthouse and the door, maybe to look like there's light coming up there, right? You could do that. I don't want to do it, but I'm just putting it out there to you guys. If you want to get that creative, you could add little bits of yellow behind there. But I think that looks really cool having that back there, right? Now, I put it on upside down though. Oh no, it's not shimmery. Dang it, Bobby. Oh, my shimmery side is that way and is not shimmery. Oh man, what do I want to do? I can leave it, right? It's just so, it's okay. It's the thought that counts, right? What I was really trying to do is get the shimmer. Oh, man. It'd be so much prettier doing shimmer, right? It's just a scrap. I don't think I can turn it around. I think that I can turn it around. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Look at this. We got it. We got it all day long. All day IPA. Look at this. Okay, we got it. That's going to go here. Oh, nice. Very nice. We hardly have any hanging down there. Now we got to recut, though. So I'm going to follow the simple things in life that make us happy, right? When we can fix something. All right, then this. There. Okay. Now we got shimmery sand. I like it. I'm happy. Happy dance. All right. Now I'm popping this up. So this gives me the ample opportunity to use up some of this stuff. So let's just see here. We're going to put one across there. One across here. Whoa. One across there. Let's do this guy right there. And then put one right there. And then yay, we can graduate that to the garbage. I'll file that. And then here, let's grab. This looks like a great opportunity to use up that one and that one. That and there. I think that's pretty good. Boom. Okay. Picky, picky, picky. And oh my goodness, all the comments are coming in. I hadn't seen a comment since Karen. Holy Moses. You guys are probably wondering, I'm talking to myself. The last comment I saw was Karen Wetstein saying hello, and then Maria Gilbertson. And now I see Mary Novak is with us. And Mary Novak, I have a question for you. I tried calling you the other day. I needed to know, I think you get a free class with your product share. And I don't know if you had picked out what class you wanted. So I have your box staged here on the right, just waiting to hear from you on about your free class with your product share. So let's connect if we can to make sure I can get your package out today, so that I want to add the class first. And Donna said she loved last night's cards. Great. All I'm doing is centering this. You guys, we have a bigger margin of designer paper. So just centering that. Hi, Pat Smothers. And there's Sarah Mitchell. Woohoo. There's Connie Moore. And Pat said the tutorial arrived just fine. Good. Barbara Gobby's here. So we're going to put some tear and tape. Mary Lemke, good morning to you. But Connie's also a perfectionist. She made 3 Share Create Inspire cards before she found the paper I liked, just before she said that. Yes, Connie, we can relate. We definitely can. So, and Annette Rollin is watching. So Annette Rollin is my Vanna White today, you guys. She's on call in case I need something. So far so good though. And there's Donna Grushki's here. Hi, Marlene. You sent it. Okay, good. And there's Kimberly. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hi, Susan Warmly. Did not get that email. Sad face. What email? Okay, so you have to tell me, Susan, is it the ink, paper, scissors? I'll pull up my phone and see if you're on my list. You guys, when you do this, we want to make sure we put this ribbon that it is in this corner right over here and coming down at an angle, right? So you don't want it in the middle. It's a little bit more over here. And I have a nice edge over here, so I might, nah, I'm just going to go like this. Right here, loop, and bring the tail back. And grab your ribbon, scissors. Oh, Connie Moore! Oh my gosh, Connie Moore! Connie Moore, you are going to laugh. You are going to laugh. Oh, man. So, Connie Moore, I did it to you again. And you know why I did it to you? Look at this. Connie, your name is right there. It's typed out. It's not purple. So when I see your name typed out, I don't even see it because it blends in with the word name. Okay? So, Connie, you registered for every ink, paper, scissors through the rest of the year. So I have, this is going to maybe happen again. Because you had pre-registered for every ink, paper, scissors before the book was printed, every one of these is going to have your name written in it right here, October, ink, paper, scissors, right? Your name is already like in every spot. So you were number 1. So Connie, just, this is a pay it forward. If I forget to say your name, you're always number 1 in my IPS book, okay? Get it? There was like a little pun there. You're always number 1 in my book for IPS, okay? So yes, you are correct, Connie Moore. I forgot to say your name. I didn't mean to forget you. And who else though? Susan Warmly. Susan Warmly. So you are a good question about, you said I didn't say your name. Oh, wait, you said you did not get that email. Okay, Susan, you're going to have to be a little more specific because at this point I had about 15 or 20 comments that all came in at one time. I don't know which email which email you're talking about. Is it the IPS email or is it a different email? Because I'm thinking you meant IPS, but maybe you're referring to something else. And if you didn't get that email, is it because I don't believe I had you signed up for this class. And maybe if I have you signed up for the class, I don't have your name in the book, but I'm not off on my kits. So I will need to play investigator if that's the case. So you guys, that's going to go along the bottom here. And you could pop it up, you could keep it flat. You guys, the card already has one popping, and if you're going to mail this, you might just consider making this flat. But I don't generally mail these cards out as mailing. I give these cards away as prizes. So I'll let whoever wins this card have, or like earn this card or get this card. When I mail out these cards, I send them in people's packages usually. So I'm not going to worry about it. All right. So we got that figured out. Pat Smothers says current catalog. Oh, it's the current catalog. Okay. So I have this like halfway in between over here. But you could go there, you could go here. I do like it halfway in between. And I'm going to have it down a little bit further so that I'm not covering up all my pretty sandpaper. Ha, ha, ha. Get it? My sandpaper back there. All right, so now you can kind of see the difference between them. I would pick this one. I love that shimmery paper back there. And the great thing about it is you guys have it in your card kits. We gave you a whole 6x6 sheet of it so that you can do with it what you want to. Hi, Margene Eskelson from Wyoming. Hello, Doris Munson joining late. So I've got a pink one over here, the Inky Pinky. I've got the dark orange like that. And then I have a light pink one, I think, right there. All right. Hello, Vicki Parker. Is copy paper strong enough to hold those together? It sure is in my book. I mean, that's the past card, but it seemed like it's going to hold it together. I mean, if it's a kid who got the card and is taking it to bed with them because they absolutely cherish who they got it from, like grandma gave them an amazing card, they might take it to bed and it might rip apart. But I mean, if a normal layman's getting it and they're just opening it like this, like I'm tugging on it, it's not going to pull. Now, if I go like that, yes, it will rip. But if you use the card as intended, as a card, and not as a toy or a destruction property, then I think you'll be fine. I do see here that, how am I going to get this? There's a little bit there hanging. It was up a little high. I didn't catch that, but we're good. Okay, I love it. We're going to do a little this and a little that. Number 2 in the books. So I love it. That's good. I'm so happy I did it like that. And then these are the 2 we have done. And you guys, we're not done. There's more. We have 3 more. 3 more. Now the envelope for this guy. The envelope. I had a whole stack of envelopes. They must be over here. So the envelope that I did for this, I took a piece of that paper and I just cut it off and I put that for my envelope so that it matches. All right, so there's that one. Next, Mary Novak says, my phone is broken, waiting to get, but I'll get back when I... Perfect. If you can let me know, Mary Novak, not to like pressure you, but if you can let me know by noonish, your box will go out today. If you don't let me know by noon, it'll go out sometime next week, I think. I'll leave it staged here and somebody will run it to the post office for me on Tuesday. So that would be my thought and plan. Okay, let's just see what the next card is here. I want to do that one. And it's that one. Very good. For some reason, these are all going in the order, not intentionally by any means. You love the added sand. Good job. Yay. Connie said, I knew that is what happened. So you always will know that, Connie. I'm so sorry. I don't know what it is, but when something doesn't jump out at me, it doesn't help, right? So what I should have done is not written your name and typed it in. I should have written your name and not typed it in is what should have happened. But you know, you're always there. You're first. You can probably see it when, well, because I don't generally have the book open face down when I'm doing roll call. But all right, this one. This guy is going to get glued here, and then we're going to pop this up, right? So an easier card again. I like it. The designer series paper is what does the magic for these cards. So we have a little bit easier to assemble layouts, but you guys, I know that you appreciate not having a complex card all the time. It's great to have easy cards to put together. So once you cut the paper on these, they're generally easy, as my mom would say, to slap it together. So I do that. And then we've got this piece right here. Now, if you recall, when I cut that piece of designer series paper for the last card, it left me with this strip. I think that would be a great, oh, there's water in the bottom. Let's see here. Do we want water or do we want a side strip? Let's pull out our pieces here and see what we have. I do have this right here, which is the bottom of the card. So let's use that. Maybe this will work somewhere else. My scrapyard made it back over here, and it's a hot mess of scraps. All right, this is going to get popped up with dimensionals. Pick which side you like better. We use the gentle waves again, so there's that. The black dimensionals are what I'm going for, so let's take this guy and that one. Should pull right off now. Put that right across the top. And then this one can go along the side. The little dude can go right there. Okay, so now we can work off the side here. So I don't know if they intentionally have, I'm sure they do it for strength and stability, but I love that there are these, the sides that you can cut strips like this for. Let's do this side. I'll just do that much. That looks good. Okay, so when you guys pick this off though, and go to put this down on your card, you don't get any forgiveness if you do it bad and have it crooked. it really, you need to get it straight, because if you try to pull this up, it's going to stick and it's not going to want to come off. And it might rip and it might twist and it might bend. So the thing is, when you put this on here, you're going to have an 1/8 of an inch margin all the way around. Okay, so what I generally will do is I know what an 1/8 of an inch looks like. So I'm going to drop this one edge down where I think it's an 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to center it top to bottom now. And then as I'm trusting, I'm trusting it. I did it like a dry fit beforehand. So now I'm trusting, and as long as I drop this down straight, it should put it on here straight and with the same margin all the way around, right? And it did. So it's having the one edge straight and being equidistant on the sides, and then just like letting it fall into place. Perfect. Now this one, I just want to celebrate and dance to the music, is Night of Navy. So we pulled in a different set for this though. We pulled in the Balloon Festoon. Happy birthday, let's celebrate. We're gonna party like it's 1999. All right, okay, Prince. So let's clean this, because all my blocks are currently consumed and waiting for the Stampin' Fun the Sun event with you guys on those who registered on Monday. I have everything sitting in totes over there ready to go. Totes my goats. So we're going to do happy birthday to you. Now, you see that? It's really goopy in there. I just barely pressed. Now I got 2 little baby dots from that. So if you get the goopiness, you just have to be careful. You can't press. Let it just rest on your paper. I'm not pushing. I'm just petting, I guess, my block here. So back and forth. And when you do that, you'll get the ink to transfer, but you won't get all the goop. So like that's when you press, if you press too hard, you're going to get that goop in there. So I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but I've noticed that the recessed part of the photopolymer is not cut out as much as it used to be. And so the grooves like that collect the ink more, and they get stamped on stuff. So you gotta be a little bit more careful with that. So this is, I hope it finds you happy, which we want this to say, let's dance. No, let's celebrate. This fits perfectly in this little Everyday Arches, the baby die. Good deal. That's it for our navy. So this is going to get some tear and tape on the back. I've got it at the top, at the bottom, and then 2 need to be waiting in the wings. So grab your strawberry ribbon again, and we're going to do a loop, tail, and then the same thing on the other side. So you guys, when you work off of a roll of ribbon versus getting ribbon in kits, what's really cool about it is I don't waste a lot of ribbon, right? Because I just cut off exactly what I needed, and I had no mess or fuss or any bits left over. So I cut the exact amount that I needed. And this is going to get some dimensionals. I generally don't try to put any dimensionals over the top of the wax paper. I try to make sure I hit paper, because the waxy paper of tear and tape, nothing can stick to it really. And I didn't want to take it off because then it's going to stick there. And this slightly overlaps the arch a little bit. It's going to go right about there. And then we have this piece, which is going to fit down there, and then can go on the inside. Okay, so we'll put this guy in first. So with the ink paper scissors, you can see we always double mat those. So when you get your kit, you'll have that extra cardstock. And if you're not a double matter and you end up doing something else with it, that's quite all right. But when you double mat, it looks super cool because it ties all the blue in together on this one. So for stellaing, take that sun and swoosh all around. Okay, so when you have this foily look, the stella doesn't stick to it so well. All right, next, gems are down here. And I did have 5 on this one. So let's figure out what I lost. I had the dark orange there. Let's put the regular orange with it. And then I've got a blue 42 right down there. We did that little orangey guy right there. And then we need, let's grab the big pink and put the big pink one right there. And so then now I need a big pink one over there. Sometimes they fall off, so you're going to want to make sure you press them down good so that they don't fall off. Get that adhesive to stick. So voila, right? So when you're cutting up this paper, the main thing is to pay attention to where you want your focal part to be. Like this to me is the focal part of the paper, right? This and going down. And we wanted that to the left because we put our label here. If you end up cutting it that it's on your right, you could reverse and put your label going on the other side, upside down. Like just have it so the roll is this way and then the straight edge is on that side. So now we have 3 done. These 2 look similar in color, but different cards. So very cool. All right. That one for an envelope, I believe I used this paper to cut that. And again, it was the bottom section of the other one because this one has that sun right there. So I used that piece for that one. All right, so it looks like we have 2 left and it's time for a water break. I believe that this one goes with this guy. No, it goes with the last one. Nope, not that one. Must go with this one. No, it doesn't go with that one. Oh my goodness. Maybe it goes with this one. Nope, it doesn't go with that one. It goes with the first one. That was a struggle, figuring out where that goes. Okay, you go with that. Gotta find everything back to its home. All right, so this one is the Azure Afternoon. Okay, so it's the bottom one. I don't use the Azure Afternoon a lot. I'd like the Nature Walk Suite for my free, but do not want celebration, expressions, memories, and more. Okay, don't rush to, I know how busy you are. Okay, so Mary, thank you for letting me know that. You want the Nature Walk Suite, not bundle. And then that was from April. No memories and more. Okay. Got it. Got her, Otter. So envelope is going down here. So we have some strawberry slush, which you're going to use this piece for. And then the boat and 2 birds. I will say the birds are upside down because we wanted them flying this way, and the way they die cut is they die cut this way. So just be aware of that. When you have them the right way, they're rolled edges to the top and they're flying. Now we'll look and see what it looks like. But all right, let's. So this one was really wonky when it got folded. It got really folded crazy. So I'm gonna straighten that up and show it who's boss, right? Because we don't burnish things around here for you guys. We just get them in an envelope. And if it needs to get straightened out, you have the opportunity to do it right before you make the card. You can straighten it out. All right, so this, let's dry fit that. So we can glue 3 things. We're gonna glue that one, that one, that one. I also will not be in person for... Mary, I didn't think you were coming in person. But then I thought to myself, well, it's possible that you're going to make the trip. But I did switch you already it's in your box. Your Winnie the Pooh Silly Old Bear class is in your box. So I did change it on the registration form. I know you probably wanted to be here in person with Kelly and the girls, but it doesn't work out. We also are going to change the in-person class. Kelly had, for next week, Thursday, I don't know how we did this, but it wasn't fair to her. She had paper pumpkin at 8:45, which is normally on the calendar. And then she has ink, paper, scissors at 5:30 p.m. in person, which is normally on the calendar. And then we go and add a Silly Old Bear Winnie the Pooh class, right? The Stamp-a-Stack. And we thought, okay, all's fine. She was only going to do it as an online class, so she was going to do it at 10 o'clock, which is great because the pumpkin should only take her about an hour, and then she was going to roll right into Winnie Pooh. Well, my in-person community loves it and wants to come together to make their cards here. So then we're like, well, just on the back end of the live class, do the in-person class. You've got all the stamps all ready to go. And after what she had happen yesterday with live class, not done till 6 o'clock or something like that, and she didn't have a lunch in between, and she just ran, it was just too much. So we realized it's not fair to have her do 4 classes in one day. I don't know. It just kept getting, like, the 2 were originally there, and then the Pooh was the afterthought class. And then it was only going to be 1, and then all of a sudden it was 2 Pooh classes, and so we realized, like, yeah, we can't do that. So we rescheduled the in-person to be the following Tuesday, the 4th, I think, of June, at maybe 10 o'clock, something like that, that Kelly will have stuff all set up for people that they can come in and do their stamping and put, work on their cards. So yes, we figured that out, things that, we ebb and flow, we go with the flow. All right, let's find the stamps. They are right here. So we're going to put the balloon festoon. I think we're done with this happy birthday, and let's celebrate. I just want to celebrate and dance to the music. And then we need the Sunset Coast is right here. The adventure continues. All right, so on the inside we have, we did put the little baby boats. Look at that, cutie patootie boats. All right, so let's grab one. Happy Retirement is perfect with this. And then we need the water. Okay, first things first. Let's do the Happy Retirement. I don't know if that's, that's gonna be close, but we'll make it work. Ooh, it's so close. Happy Retirement. Okay. So that's going to go on the inside. Look at us. Stamping right away here. Happy Retirement. Okay, nice. Then, you know what would be really great? A bird. Right? I think so. Let's put a bird. You know what? We need a bird on this one too. There we go. I like it. Then, we got the bird done. So, you guys, on the photograph in the PDF tutorial, that bird won't be there. Just FYI, you know that though, I think. All right, then we need to get some water on here. And the water is going to be at second strength. So, definitely grab your scrap paper and stamp. Oh, wrong color. Did you guys know I was doing that? I should have shut that because I'm not using gray anywhere. But that's a good thing I tested it first. So, stamp off. That's fine. Okay. I don't know. I have it a little lighter there, but it's just the inside and it's the water. All right, so that's done. Now you have these little baby sailboats. And they look great in here. We didn't know where else to use them, so we put them on the inside. So there's one. And 2. Okay. One's going downhill. Okay. So the outside's done. Now we just need to stamp. Sorry, the inside is done. Now we need to stamp the Adventure Continues, which is on the little white label, which is right in front of me. That goes there. It's around. I just saw it when I, oh, right there. Perfect. I was going to glue, but we're going to wait now. We're going to put here, the adventure continues. So this is a great retirement card. For somebody who's put their time in and now can go off on the adventures of their lifetime. So this flips over. I'm going to put some tear and tape back there. If you guys haven't perfected my ribbon loop tail thing, you definitely got your fill on these cards. It's a lot of loop tails and loop tails. So near the middle, catch the tail back there. This looks like spider legs coming out, like when I was holding my hand here from my angle. It looked like little spider legs. Okay, this gets cut. Like that, and then... So you could run the ribbon back and forth, you guys. You definitely could. When you do that, though, you put ribbon here that never gets used, or I should say seen. And no one knows that it's not there. Plus, when I do a loop tail like this, it gives a little bit more cuter of a little bow. When you go loop tail back and forth, it has a different angle to it. All right, so this is going to get popped up. And put on the front, bottom right corner. This needs just a minor trim job. Oh, I just cut off a little ribbon that needs to get thrown away. Look at that. So we had their sun here in the middle, which gave room for the label to come over here. On this one, I lined it up with the DSP, and I think I'll do that again so that you see the strawberry down the side. This is going to get popped up at the top. And then I'm going to glue the bottom flat. And I think what I'll do for that is grab my 1/8 inch tear and tape that I got as a pillow gift from the girls and an on stage, and put that along the bottom. You could use liquid glue, but there are little lines of holes. I guess there's little lines that the glue could ooze up through. So the boat is going to go right about there. And now look at the birds. So if the birds, if you put them as the die intended them to be, I think it's like that. And then this one, they're flying that way. But I wanted them to be flying this way. So, and I wanted it to go right there. So that's why I chose to flip them and have them be upside down. So they're not upside down per se, it's just that the raw edge is up. And so we're going to take those off, and it's easier to stella them on the glass mat. Okay, and I should have done the boat like that. And then the sun. Okay. So this is the Rose Coleman trick. She puts glue, make sure you glue the right side. She puts a little bit of glue on them and gives them a moment to dry. I'm afraid of squeezing too hard. Oh my goodness, there it is. She gives them a moment to get tacky, and then they don't smear all over the place. So we're going to let that sit for a moment and try not to get anything in it. Same with this guy. We'll put a little glue here and up. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a second. Put our white inside in. Oh man, biggest cat fur of them all. Look at that. Cats are saying hello. Okay, that looks good. I like having the bird in there. And then now for these guys. Okay. So he's going to be right there, flying high and free. And with his body. Okay. If you have, like, we did not put any of that third bird dye in here. Just couldn't do it. So I thought 2 scoops was good. Then we have to get the gems. And that one, I don't know what's going on with that. But I've got orange there. Aren't you glad we have class today? Let's go for the blue one. It's my only, like, joke. I have 2 jokes that I remember. That's one of them. All right, there's, oh, you know what? That might look good. This one, for some reason, it had a 5th one on there. Where it is, I have no idea. But we'll put a random one over there. That's good. We'll put 3 on this one. So I've got 1, 2, 3 on this one. I ended up with 5. It's all good. You guys got a whole thing of gems. Put as many as you want on. And then for the envelope on this one, I think what I utilized was that one. I just cut another sheet and used that top part. Okay, wonderful. So we've got 4 done, and we have our bonus card, which this is your bonus card actually, because this was the deja vu from last year. So we did have 4, and we're like, we need to do 1 more card. So you ended up with a bonus card, and we'll make that one this guy right now. So you have, this one is an easel card. So it pops up like that, which is super cool. Oh, who loves me? It's an alarm clock. Time to switch the YouTube video. Okay, that's an old alarm. I always say when the alarm goes up, time to wake up, no matter what time it's at. All right, let's see here. We should clean up some on aisle 9 here, because we're done with this. We have the You Brighten My Day, which we have right here. Wishing you love and happiness. Oh man, where does that come from? That comes from a set I probably didn't grab. Delicate Whispers. Oh man, I'll have to go grab that. So we can put this away though. And our teeny tiny little boat. And our little baby boat. And on the inside, I don't think we have anything up there. Okay. We got that can go away, that can go away, and the water can go away. The bird. We might stamp a bird in that one. Okay. So, we need to go grab some stuff. Let's see what we got in here. White envelope is empty. Water, it's time for water. This is a 5.5 by 4 1/4. And it is the size of the front of the card. And we cut that designer paper to be 5 1/4 by 4, so that's perfect. And then in here you have your stylish shape circle, the strip for your sentiment, 3 different shell pieces, the array of the thing, sunburst, and then a white and a purple. Okay, so this is going to be an easel card, so it's already folded in half for you, but there's a score line right here, so you're going to need to pull this back in like that and burnish that. And that fold is what creates the easel. So for the gluing, you can glue a couple things. Let's glue some, so you guys know I'm getting glue happy. So we can glue the designer paper to the mat, and then we can glue our inside mat in. Don't worry, the birds will get stamped. I promise, we'll get them stamped. They actually come from, where do the birds come from? This set, I think. No, they come from Sunrise Sailing. Okay, so that's why Sunrise Sailing is on the recipe card. Okay, so there's that. And then this guy right here. Let's go find, I gotta go get Sunrise Sailing. I have it here, and Delicate Whispers. I need 30 seconds. So Delicate Whispers has the Wishing You Happiness and Love. And the Retired Sunrise Sailing has that bird. We liked that bird better than this one. They were a little more dainty, I guess. So let's grab you and you and then this. Now, I'm going to stamp that, but first I want to set this up. The Rose Coleman trick is the little bit of adhesive here. If you guys have the sticker sheets, you could definitely use them to make these into stickers. I just think that's enough. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for just a second. And where I'm gonna let it sit actually is right here, because I have it a little bit to the right of the center, and that will help me determine where to stamp my birds. So I have one there, right there. They're getting ready to like dive down and get a fish. Okay, that's it for the birds. Again, that comes from Sunrise Sailing. So there's this, it's retired. We really use this set a lot because of the words and the dies on this one. Still gonna let that sit there. We're gonna grab the Highland Heather ink. We'll stamp the Wishing You Happiness and Love on our strip right here. Nice. You Brighten My Day goes on the circle. Okay. Always a cat fur. Everywhere. There it is. Okay. That's it for that. Okay. I got a hot mess going on. So let's clean you. Put you back there. Good deal. So this guy's probably good now. Let's flip him around. And we're just gonna pop that right about there. Stuck to my finger as I pulled it away. Right there. Then this guy gets popped up. So he's gonna be great if you have your strip here. Nice. It's gonna go the whole, let's just grab this entire thing right there. Oh man. That would have just been over one hair. That's all I had, one hair. Then this is going to go onto this shimmer piece. I do have it centered, top to bottom, left to right. So like that. Good. Now for this, I'm going to run tear and tape, because you can see, I'm pretty certain you'll see through the vellum. So we're just going to run a piece of tear and tape right like that on that area. And then you have this white piece. That should fit right down here at the bottom. Now, do you want to stamp another bird? Why not? We have the bigger bird. So we already have You Brighten My Day, wishing you sunshine and happiness and love. But here we can put this guy flying in the sky up here. All right, so then this is going to get glued on the inside. And then this flap right here, the bottom flap, is what needs to get the glue. You can go all the way to the edge if you want, because the whole thing is going to get covered up. So let's do this first. So line up. Now I am seeing that my card base is a hair wider than my purple piece here. That's okay, we're gonna fix it. Yours might not do that. It just depends how the paper got cut in half. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab the guillotine, I think. And I'm gonna put that right in here. I'll line it up. Okay. Risky business. I have just one little piece right there. It did good until the very end. So if I would have used my regular cutter, this thing right here, it was so close to the edge, all it would have done is frayed the edge, and I would have not been happy. I would have been pulling my scissors. I knew I needed a guillotine, and I needed to get that much off. So just make sure your fingers are no cattails in the way when you do that, okay? So then here we've got tear and tape, 2 waiting in the wings, and 2 on the back. And it's the back upper right there and right bottom left. So I'm going to do my loop and a tail like that. And then a loop and a tail on the other side. Like that. And then, so by putting that tear and tape on my hand, it really does help me so I don't have to drop and try to pick it back up. It lets me just keep holding it. Okay. Then this was just an accent of the pink behind here. Like that. And then more tear and tape. I like to use tear and tape with vellum so that you don't have to use, you could use tape runner, but I don't like to use liquid glue with vellum just because the vellum gets watered down, I think, from the glue. So I have this kind of covering up that little bit right down there. Okay, so the gems, I've got a pinky, inky pinky over here, and then a big one. What an orange, yet glad we got class today. And this guy here. And I feel like there's one missing. Let's put another orange one right there. And we'll move you and do the same thing over here. Okay. I think that concludes the embellishments for this one. So we're going to put those guys away. We got the ribbon used for today's class. You got some left to make pretty things with. The thing that I like to do with the ribbon is grab a piece of Scotch tape. And try not to have that happen when you take it off the roll. But I like to make a tab. Like that. There we go. Okay, we're not done. You guys, there's shells going on here. Hi, I'm not done yet. Almost. Almost. I need to go get some ink, some petal pink and crumb cake. Oh, it's Annette. I thought you were Mom. Eat. Can you get in there? Okay, watch out. I could see all those cards falling.
I'd have picked them up.
Oh, it's like a, you can leave it. It's all good. It's a Leaning Tower of Pisa right there. So we did this last night. We had the dauber, and your starfish is going to be with crumb cake. Boom. And then thanks, Vicky. We got the other two with the petal pink. for those, I'm just going to take my dauber and go around the edge. I like to use the vanilla for shells. Even though it's a white-ish card, the vanilla with the petal pink reminds me more of what shells look like. That got a little dark, but this looks like a phallic object to me. Yup, you can see it. All right. Maybe you can't, but if you look at that. Yup, there we go. Those are our shells. I don't know why they shaped it like that. That just doesn't look like the right type of shape for me for that shell. But anyways, that's just my thoughts. And let's flip this up. On this one, I put a dimensional on the left side and a glue dot on the right. This guy gets a glue dot. And then this one will get, these dimensionals are perfect. They fit right in the middle. So this one will go down first. And then our little starfish hangs out on the corner here. Like that. And then this dude overlaps the label there. So we've got a cute little beachy scene going on down there. Yay. Okay, so we need to Stella. What can we sell? It doesn't make sense to Stella the vellum. You can Stella ribbon, in case you don't know that. You can Stella ribbon. But we could do it like the horizon here. There. Ah, voila. We did it. Now, I'm not quite done. That one, the envelope, if you did it, I would do something like that, which matches. And the other thing, though, is the vellum down here. So this is flipping up, and what I would do is grab, my pick tool is in the other room, but I would take this glue dot and put that underneath where that shell is. That will help hold that down on that side. And then on this one, you could take and lift this up and add another glue dot right underneath where that shell is. And then it's okay that that flips up a little. All right, I heard a car door. I think I beat Mom. Whew, okay. There we have it. We have, these two are similar. These are the twins. And then we've got that guy and this. So that was the class. Again, I believe between Kelly and me, we have probably 5 to 6 left. I know she has in person 6 people signed up, and with she planned for 12. So we kitted up 12 for her. So if anybody's looking to get this class and they'd like it mailed to them, or if you'd like to attend in person with Kelly, she's doing the in-person class next week on the 28th at 5:30 p.m. here in the Hive. And if you want the card kits mailed to you, if you could let me know, that would be great. How it would probably work is we're going to be rolling into the June registration form, and I'm going to be closing the May registration form. So if you do want this, it's considered now a past class, and there's a section in the June registration form where it asks you, would you like to add any past classes or multiple quantities or any past paper pumpkins? And for past paper pumpkins, I only have 3 left, and they're from February. I have 3 of the Celebrate Spring left, and other than that, I have no pumpkins left over. We do have bandwidth for the May pumpkin. The May, what just shipped in May? Sparkling Celebrations. I know that for the Sparkling Celebrations for the pumpkin, we've got about 9 at this moment available, and Kelly and I are doing an alternative class as well. We got the cards designed this week, and I'll be showing them off at the show in the showcase at 2 o'clock. So if anybody's looking for the May pumpkin, we do have full kits available at this moment. They generally end up going, so you don't want to wait till next month to be asking me if you're interested in it. So for this one, though, we would be able to add it as a past class in the June class registration form, and that will transition over like the next 2 hours. I'll have that all switched around so that you can't get into the May one anymore. So if you try clicking on the May registration form, it's going to say you need to request access, and I'm not going to give it to anybody because I'm not looking back at past class registration forms. I'm only looking at the current month one. So these cards are stunning. The DSP is gorgeous. I would have to agree with that, Pat. I definitely agree. And Kari said the same thing. Can't wait to get your set. But your bedroom and bathroom are sparkling clean since I was just listening along. Aw, Kari, I wish you could come here and help me with my bathroom and my kitchen and my bedroom and my house. Right, Annette? Wouldn't that be nice?
Aww.
Oh, man. I would love to have a clean house. I tell people that come to my house that if they are offended or they don't like the way it looks because it's dirty, that they are welcome to clean it. Like, that is exactly how it works around here. Like, there's no time for cleaning the house around here. So, only when we have parties, that's when we have it. And I have a big open house on July 24th. So I think that's the next time the house will get cleaned. So that's when the counters, everything from the counters get put in a box and the box goes somewhere. So, all right, let me do the door prize really quick. I will do 2 people here. I will draw it now and we'll figure out the door prizes later. But I have 60. I have 68, which is awesome. Awesome sauce. So let's see here. I'm putting my password in my phone. It was blocked here. Hang on. Okay, 68 is the number. And I like it. Becky Gandolfo says, me. Already messaged. Oh, perfect. So we'll add you to the list, Becky, here, and I'll go off of 69 then. All right, so let me hit generate. You guys can see the number. 54 is Sue Deppis. Yay. And 63 is me. Ha, ha, ha. I don't win a prize, though, but I get a set of kits because we need a set. So let me read. Oh, hang on. Not out of 63. We're going to do 69, and we'll hit generate. 41 is Lisa LaFramboise. Yay. Very good. Okay, so Becky, I will add you in the book right now. I'll write your name in so that we have it listed. And I'll make sure when we do your June package, whatever you get for June, that we'll set it aside for you. All right. Got you in the book. And so don't worry about sending a check right now. You guys, don't ever worry about sending me money. I know a lot of people don't like to owe people money. And I have a lot of people like that in my community, which is amazing. And I know you hate owing me money, but I always tell you, wait till I tell you, and this is not for you, Becky, this is just for everybody in general, because the registration process is going to happen now. So what you're going to, this afternoon, if you guys are already out there looking at the registration form, just know that once you fill it out, I'm going to be working with Amanda for 2 hours tomorrow from 9 until 11. We're going to work through as many as we can together so I can thoroughly teach her how I do everything so that whatever I don't get done by Monday, she'll be able to help me process while I'm away. That is the goal. So just wait till you get an email from me. Amanda sends the emails from me. You guys don't know it's her that's drafting them and staging them, and she signs my name to them. But I do, like, I generally, she stages the email, I proofread it, and then I send it, right? So I'm not going to have the ability necessarily to proofread them before we want to send them. So just wait for before you send money, because it's always harder if you send the wrong amount. Then either I owe you money or you owe me money, and it's just a little bit of a rigmarole. So we like to just tell you an amount, and if it ends up being that I don't tell it to you for like 2 days before the classes ship and we ship and then you send the money, like, I've never worried about it, you guys. Generally my community is like, I've never been skunked, so we're always good with that. So so just know that the showcase is coming up and we'll be working through registrations. If you guys don't watch the showcase right away, if you could get your registrations in by Saturday, that would be the most phenomenal thing, because my dedicated time on Sunday is going to be to working on registrations and packing. That's the plan. And then Becky says, I'll do the cleaning for you, no problem. Oh, Becky, I would bring you over here in a heartbeat. You could stay up in the green room. You could help me for a week. We get the house cleaned up. We could hang out. We could make cards, and life would be good. Wouldn't that be nice, Annette? I'd like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like to have everything all buttoned up. We'd get the green room cleaned up. Like,
giving out my bedroom though.
And that says that's her bedroom. So, we always tease people that they gotta get the cot out because they're here all the time. So to spend the night. So, okay. Again, if anybody else is looking to get this class, but not necessarily anything else that I offer, you don't necessarily have to fill out the registration process, the registration form. Just send me a quick text or email, or even call me and say, hey, I'd like to get the kits. I'll get you on the list. You don't have to fill out that form. The form might take 5 to 10 minutes to fill out. And if that's the only thing you want, don't spend those 5-10 minutes. Just send me a quick note. Like, I try to make it as easy as possible for people to get the classes. So I think I'm going to sign off, you guys. I'll be live at 2 o'clock. So I have a bandwidth here, like a little wiggle room to eat and work with Mom and getting packages out and then be ready for you at 2. So I'm going to sign off. Lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. We'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.